Assalamu alaikum, fellow humans. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, feel free to hit that like and subscribe. And if you're coming back, then thank you so much. Today I just wanted to do just like a quick little video on just my faith and how I became Muslim and that kind of stuff. So I was raised in a Catholic family. My parents are Catholic, my siblings are all Catholic. On both sides of my family, like my dad's side and my mom's side, they're all Catholic. And it just, I don't know, it never made sense to me. There were certain things that I disagreed with and certain things that I don't know, it just didn't resonate with me, I guess. And I mean, I've always believed in God, but I didn't connect with the Bible. Now, if you're Catholic, Christian, you know, whatever faith you are, if you, I don't know, if you believe in the Bible, then that's great. I'm not knocking it in any way. It just wasn't something that was, it just didn't resonate with me. And so I left the faith very, very young. I was about 13 or 14. And I actually became a Buddhist. So people, you know when you're a kid and you have like a safety blanket or a safety teddy bear that you carry around everywhere? I actually took a Buddha statue that my dad had. I've actually, hold on. This is him. I still keep him even though I'm Muslim, because he no longer represents Buddhism to me. He represents freedom of religion. And I'll explain why momentarily. So anyway, so he was like my safety blanket. I would take him everywhere. And you can just imagine this tiny little girl carrying around this, you know, stone Buddha, which is why actually he's got, see this crack? Because he was too heavy for me. He's still heavy now. He's solid stone. I dropped him a couple of times and his head came off, and I would cry until my mom or dad like glued him back together for me. And so yeah, I would carry him around everywhere. It was just a safety blanket kind of thing. And as I got older, I realized that he was part of a faith. And I started looking into it, and I, to this day, think the Buddhist faith is so beautiful. So beautiful. I love the tradition. I love the teachings that it has. I still meditate. I still do things like Tai Chi. I do still live by a lot of the teachings, and I think I will until the day that I die. But in the Buddhist faith, there's no God. And as I've mentioned, I still believed in God. I just didn't find a faith that, I don't know, that just gave me everything that I wanted. But anyway, so I left the Catholic faith when I was around 13 or 14, and I told my immediate family that I was going to be Buddhist. And they were like, okay, you know, whatever makes you happy. I guess they just saw it coming, I guess. My dad's side of the family didn't really care. My mom's side of the family was a different story. Whenever I would visit my grandmother, her sisters would take me to church, and they would take me to Sunday school, and I don't think it was done out of malice. I think they just wanted to just bring me back into the fold, I guess. And I hated it. I hated every second of it. I love going to churches. Churches are beautiful, and I respect my aunties, so I would go, but it just wasn't for me. I didn't connect at all. And you know, I did love Sunday school though, but not for not for any good reason. It was because I was a fat kid, and we used to make fairy bread, and I got to eat fairy bread. That was the only reason I liked going to Sunday school. And which is a bad reason to want to go. But anyway, and so my whole teenage, like late teenage years, early adult life, I was Buddhist. And then I started looking into other faiths, just not to convert or change to any other faiths. It was just so, I don't know, just to educate myself, I guess, to see if I could find something that I connected to. But I never looked into Islam. I had such a negative idea of what Islam was. I thought, obviously, I feel very differently now, and I'm very ashamed of the way I used to perceive Islam. But I pretty much believed everything the media was saying. I believed that they were terrorists. They were trying to take over the world. I thought the women were weak and repressed. I thought it was just very violent and hateful, and, you know, that women were less than, and all this kind of negative stuff. And so I never wanted to look into Islam, but I looked into the Christian faith. I looked into the Jewish faith, and a few others. And again, I never found anything that I connected with. And then I started working at a company in Sydney, and a Muslim girl started working there. She was from Lebanon, and she kind of blew away every stereotype that I had for Islamic women. She was so strong, and she was so opinionated, and she was so educated, and I was just like, ooh, okay, clearly I'm wrong about everything that I've known or been taught. And as a Buddhist, I was so ashamed of myself, because part of the Buddhist faith is to respect other faiths, and I wasn't doing that. And so I decided that I would start looking into the faith. And sorry, a little bit distracted. My dog George is here. I don't know if you can see him. You can't see him. Here he is. Isn't he cute? He's such a cutie pie. He's very needy though. He needs attention all the time. Cattle dogs, okay? They need attention all the time, don't you? Yes, you do. Okay. Just sit here. Sit down here. So, now I've forgotten what I was talking about. Okay, so yeah, so I started looking into the faith, and it was just on a casual basis. Like, I would look at YouTube clips. I looked at clips of people in the faith, people who left the faith, people who joined the faith. I started listening to a couple of different imams. I started reading the Quran. And the more I learned about the faith, the more I connected with it. And it was for the first time in my life that I'd ever found a faith that I'd really just resonated with. And it made so much sense to me. Like, one of the things I didn't quite understand in the Catholic faith was Jesus, you know, peace be upon him. He was just a man to me. He was a very special man. But he was just a man. And I would question that, and I would get people saying to me as a kid, like, no, he's God. Don't question it. Like, it's just, it was never allowed. And then I was reading, you know, the Quran and learning about the prophets, and Jesus, peace be upon him, was one of them. And they were like, yes, he agreed. They agreed with me. Like, yes, he was extremely special. He was a prophet, but he was a man. And I was like, yes, this is what I've been saying for years. It was just little things like that that made me connect with the faith. And I don't know, I fell in love with it. I was still on the fence though about converting, but little signs kept popping up. And I know there's a lot of people in the world that don't believe in signs or destiny or anything like that. However, I believe in signs, and I was getting signs like crazy. To the point where I actually started writing them down. I'll go and get the book. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So this is like, I literally was just writing down all these signs that I was getting to join Islam. Okay, so one thing, this was when I was still on the fence. Should I do this? Can I do this? And all of this kept happening. So I was shopping online for a lamp for my bedroom, because I just recently moved, like 3 days before lockdown, and so I had no furniture. I went from a fully furnished place to a empty place, so I had to buy all new furniture. So anyway, I was looking online for a lamp, and I found this lamp, and one of the symbols on the lamp was the symbol for Islam, which is like the half moon and the star. So, sorry, my dog just attacked a fly. So I was like, oh, that's really, really weird. So I wrote that down. Then a couple of days later, I was watching Married with Children, which is still one of my favorite shows of all time. And the dad, it was just a random episode that I turned on, and the dad started talking about the Islamic burqa that some women wear, and I was like, oh, okay, another mention of Islam. That's interesting. So I wrote that down. I was watching Zayn and Heath Unfiltered. If you haven't watched them, they're super funny. Check them out. But they were talking about Lebanon and girls wearing the scarf, because Zayn's sister is she's a Muslim girl, and yeah, so, which I just thought was really interesting, that this episode that I found of theirs, that they happened to be talking about Islam and the scarf. So I was like, okay, that's another interesting thing. Side note, Zayn is one of the people I started watching when I first started looking into Islam, because it was total clickbait, and he freaking got me. It was him and his sister Hadaya, I believe it is. Sorry if I butchered your name, if for some reason you watched this clip. So yeah, it was total clickbait. It was him and his sister in the image, and it was something along the lines of, they didn't hire her because she's Muslim, but it was just a joke. And so I clicked on it because I actually thought that they were a married couple. Turns out she's just his younger sister. She's his younger sister. And yeah, so I just started watching clips of them. They're so cute together. But yeah, so I thought that was really strange, that it was just another sign. And like I said, the first girl I ever met who was a Muslim was from Lebanon. So it was just another sign to me. So I turned on this show, and the first conversation I heard was about faith, and if a person really believes in God. And it was a debate between an imam, a priest, and a reverend. So I was like, of all the shows that I could have turned on to see, this is the first thing that I see, like a debate between my old faith and the faith that I'm wanting to join. So I thought that was a sign. The first TikTok I ever watched was it was all about Muslims and like Arabs in general. It was this whole like series of Muslim TikToks, and I was like, it was just little signs like this all the time, and I'm still getting them today. I've got pages of signs, so I won't read them all out because like we'll be here forever. But it was just sign after sign after sign, and I was just like, you know what? It's just meant to be. So So I contacted a mosque, and Imam Muhammad got back to me, and he was like, yeah, we'd love to have you come in and have a chat. So I went in, and I had like a list of like 20 or 30 questions that I wanted to ask him. And I went into a room with him and another imam, and we just chatted about everything, about my history, about why I was thinking about joining the faith, what I knew about the faith so far. He gave me a whole bunch of literature. Just like we did a trial shahada just to let me know how it went. And yeah, it was just, I don't know, they just made me feel very at ease and very comfortable, answered all my questions, and I just really, I left there thinking, yeah, I'm ready. It's definitely for me. And that kind of sparked this journey for me. I started reading the Quran again. I just finished it for the second time. I mean, the goal is to memorize it, so inshallah I will I will get there eventually. I started praying. I'm up to 5 prayers a day, which is just amazing. And I'm learning new things every single day. I've made so many friends throughout my journey. I met this one, well, I didn't meet her, but I met her online. This one girl in Texas, and she converted to the faith, and she's been answering so many questions for me. I have a friend at the mosque who she's been my guide. Like, she's heaven sent, really she is, because I ask her about 20 questions a week, and she answers them all. She's so patient with me. She's so kind. She came, we had like a meetup with myself and Imam Muhammad's wife, and like they answered some questions that I had, and they gave me these gifts. Like, they gave me scarves and all this kind of stuff. To the point, like, this is how nice this woman is. She is so sweet. She had this really beautiful purple scarf on. Purple's my favorite color. And I said to her, oh wow, that's really pretty. I need to get a scarf like that. And I just did, so yay. But she was like, oh, you like it? Here, I'll take it off. You can have it, and I'll put another one on. And I was like, no, like, don't do that. But it was so, it just showed me how loving the people are. I know that there's some bad people in the world, and they use religion to justify horrific acts of violence. But that's not the Islam that I've met or found. It's people being horrible and thinking they can speak for God. And it has nothing to do with Islam. But this lady, I won't say her name because I don't know if she'd be comfortable with me doing that. But yeah, she is one of the sweetest women I have ever met in my life. And she's just so kind. She's so kind. And I'm so grateful to have been introduced to her through Imam Muhammad, because she's helping me so much. And yeah, I love her to pieces. So thank you. Some of the things that I was a little hesitant about was wearing my scarf. I don't know, as wrong as this sounds, okay, I'm a white girl in a first world country. I have always had a certain privilege, I guess. I mean, I don't think I ever took advantage of it, to my knowledge. I mean, I never intentionally did anyway. But I've always had that safety net. Like, I don't know, I've just always had that. And to go from that to knowing that the second I put on my scarf, I will be discriminated against. And that was kind of hard to wrap my head around. But this is the faith that I want. and this is the person that I want to be. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to put my scarf on, and it's full-time now. I wasn't wearing it full-time at first, but I am now. And I'll just let the chips fall where they may. If I get discriminated against, it happens, and it'll make me a better person. And if it doesn't happen, then great. Side note, it has happened. I literally had a man harass me in the street talking about Jesus, peace be upon him, and Muhammad, peace be upon him, and all of his wives and all of this negative stuff. It was just, yeah, it was not a good day. I really, really wanted to just punch him in the face. I did not. I've become very aware that when I'm wearing my scarf, I'm not just representing me anymore. I'm representing my faith, and I'm representing other Islamic women. And I don't want to be the kind of person that acts violently. Sorry, my camera cut out. I've had people say to me, well, what if you're wrong? You know, what if you die and there's nothing? And I was like, well, if I die and there's nothing, then there's nothing. So what does it matter? But if I die and it turns out that the Catholic faith was the real faith, I will still never regret becoming Muslim, because it's just making me such a better person. I'm a lot more patient. I'm not as aggressive. I give to charity now, whereas, I mean, I gave to charity before, but it was maybe once a year. Now I literally give to charity every fortnight. I have something that's greater than me. And it makes me feel very safe and very at peace, I guess. And I never found that in the Catholic faith. I didn't even find that in the Buddhist faith. I don't know, I just feel like I'm home. As corny as that sounds. I feel like this is where I was meant to be. This is who I was meant to be. And I'll take any amount of discrimination or challenges that brings, because you should never deny who you are. Not ever. And this is who I am. This is me. So, yeah, so I'm very happy with my decision. In terms of my family, I haven't actually told all of my family. I told my sister Kira, because as I mentioned in previous vlogs, Kira and I are very close. And so I told her, and she was like, she's the most religious out of our family in terms of like my siblings. You know, her kids went to Catholic school, they've been baptized. And so I thought that she would be the most upset by the news. I think she was a little shocked, I guess. But she said, you know, if this makes you happy, then it's your life, and just do you, pretty much. So I was like, oh, that's great. I think my eldest brother, Bradley, I don't think he'll care either way. My other sister, Tashana, I don't think that she will care. My younger brother, Shane, and my mom, I think that they'll have an issue with it, but yeah, I don't think my dad or my brother Dean will care very much. But yeah, I'm hoping right now, because we're in lockdown, I'm in New South Wales, and I want to get to Queensland in December. Well, it's December next month. Wait, no. It's November next month. So I wanted to get home in December for Christmas, because my family are Catholic and they still celebrate it. And I was going to tell them after Christmas that, you know, this is me. But it looks like the Queensland border is still going to be closed. So I might just have to tell my parents over the phone, which might work out better for me. So I'm in a whole other state, and you know. But I think for the most part they'll be okay. I think it's just they'll have to get used to the new normal. That, you know, I wear a scarf now and all of this kind of stuff. So yeah. Do I miss anything about being a non-Muslim? Not really. There are two things, okay? Because I had VSG, I stopped drinking. And I had a sip of alcohol one New Year's, I think last year. And I realized, no, I'm done. I'm done with alcohol. It's just not for me anymore. So I don't miss alcohol. I don't miss eating pork because I haven't eaten pork since I was like 13 or 14. What I do miss is gambling. Because you can't gamble when you're a Muslim. I have worked in TABs. If you're outside of Australia, you don't know what a TAB is. It's just a place that you go to put on bets for sports events, horse racing, dog racing, all of that good stuff. So I worked at these TABs. I put bets on horse racing, dog racing. I love scratchies. I love going to the pokies. Love it. Like, love it. I miss it. That's what I miss. But you know, maybe it's just because I'm new. And it's a good thing that I'm not, because you know, when do you ever really win on any of those things? But yeah, I miss that. The second thing that I miss is tattoos. So I have tattoos. I got my tattoos before I did my shahada. So I can't get any more tattoos. That makes me sad. My family are big on tattoos. Like my dad and my brothers are sleeved up. My mom's got tattoos. She had her first tattoo when she was like, I think she was like 14, and they did it in like on her own with her and her friends with a needle and ink, and they literally just like, no, go to a professional. And as shaking my camera. And as an artist, I love self-expression, and tattoos are a wonderful way of self-expression. So yeah, it does make me sad that I won't be able to get any more. I mean, I guess I could, but yeah, I won't. I probably won't. I'm 99% sure that I won't ever get another tattoo. But yeah, I don't miss anything else. I'm very comfortable in my scarf. Like, I don't pick at it, and I've seen a lot of converts who put their scarf on and they're constantly like picking, like, I don't know, they feel like they're choking, or I don't know. But yeah, I've been very comfy in mine. Like I said, I don't drink anymore anyway. Don't eat pork. Yeah, it's been pretty breezy. But yeah, I did my official shahada. When did I do that? The other day. Imam Muhammad took a video of it. So I'll get him to send me a video, and if he's still got it, I'll insert it here. I was so awkward because the call to prayer had just happened, and then he was like, "Oh, do you want to quickly do your shahada before prayer?" And I was like, "What? Okay." I don't speak Arabic. I'm learning right now. But I was like, I felt so awkward. I loved doing it, don't get me wrong. I loved officially becoming a Muslim. But it was still so awkward. But yeah, it is what it is. So I did that, and I haven't looked back since. Life just keeps getting, I don't know, it just keeps getting better and better, and I'm happy with my decision. I'm happy with who I am now, who I will become. Yeah, it's just, what can you do, you know, when you find something that lights you up inside? Honey, grab it with all that you have. And yeah, so I guess that's my story. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I'm happy to chat about anything. If you are against Islam, you know, and you want to comment negative things, I guess I can't stop you. But I would hope that maybe instead of having negative comments, maybe ask some questions. Maybe you're wrong about a certain subject. Could be. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Bye.